Welcome to Magical Mondays. It's another Monday. Okay, so this week I actually spent some time talking to some plant spirits, which was new for me, but they were really interesting, particularly the tulip. So when I entered the space that I do for channeling, there were beings with tulips for heads, and don't worry about it, don't worry about it too much anyway. So they were sitting there and they were drinking tea, and the ironic part to me was that I'm pretty sure it was like a floral tea, but again, don't worry about it, don't worry about it. And they shared a bunch of messages with me, and what they shared was obviously like what we look at every week here, the collective themes of what was going on. So let's get into it. There's a lot of releasing going on this week. It looks like we're holding too much. A lot of what's coming up in the next week for the collective is needing to let go of things that disappointed you, needing to let go of things that didn't work out the way that you wanted them to, needing to let go of like past friendships, relationships, all that kind of stuff, anything going on in your working life. Like your heart space or the collective's heart space is feeling like really weighed down, really heavy. And it's because there's no resolution to the situations. It's like, everything was just disappointing. So there's a lot that, even though there's been a lot of good that's come across in the last month or so, there was a lot of heaviness that was really coming through in the collective space today. And that was something that they wanted to address. They're really looking for us to soften into those energies right now. They're looking at just very gently opening the heart is a big focus this week, and letting go. It's like pouring it out, letting it go into the stream, letting it move out. So self-forgiveness is really big, but they want softness. It's not about aggressively releasing it or lighting it on fire or anything like that. It's about gently sitting with your heart space, noting how you felt about everything that went down, and noting what you wanted to happen that did not happen, and just releasing the outcome. Just like, putting it into your little sailboat and letting it sail away, because that's really like what's needed at this point, because everything is too heavy. It's clogging up the heart space. There's a lot of things, obviously, we just dealt with the astrological new year coming up, which was like a couple days ago. They're really wanting to bring new in right now, but the heaviness is taking up that space, and they really want renewal, and they don't want renewal and heaviness at the same time. So that's part of their reasoning for bringing that message through. A lot of what is going to be seen this week is relational focus. So think your relationships, think your friendships, think like the things in your life that you're feeling like you can't control. And again, it's coming through with that like disappointing kind of vibration here that's really difficult. There's also a lot of sudden path changes. So for anything, like, here's what they would like you to do. They'd like you to release first, and then they'd like you to keep your ears open, because there's a lot of path changes coming up right now. I'm sure you've probably noticed there's going to be things that come in over the next 2 to 3 weeks, but you'll probably see a lot of them this week that you're like, oh, that's what this was making room for. Oh, I get it now. But it's almost like you have to release it before you can fully put your heart into the new beginning that's coming up. And that's where spirit wants your focus. Not on what didn't work out and why, more on I can't control it, I have to let go, is really what they're calling in right now. So don't mind me, I always channel my notes, so I always read them off here. So they did give me a few activators too, and they have more messages as well, but the biggest thing that they were saying was like florals. I mean, no surprise there. They were talking about light blue being a big activator this week. So what I mean when I say activator, there are energies coming through this week, and if you wear light blue, your life will be easier. It's going to activate something in your field. It's going to help you pull in the downloads faster. It's going to help you integrate, and it's going to help you not lose yourself in the energies coming up. So anytime I share an activator, I always try out what they tell me to do, and I've had a really good luck with it, and I've seen the reasons why when I've done it. But typically it's because they don't want you to get lost in the energies. They want you to stay in an observational space. And when you wear those activators, you can pull down that divine energy. It's almost like a tool to help you not get lost in the energies and help you process what you need to. A lot of this week is going to involve saying some things that have been left unsaid. So the throat chakra is really big this week, but also they didn't give the pure, the really vibrant blues that the throat chakra normally has. It was soft. When you mix white with a color, it's they needed to mix source into that. So it's like a Sabrina Carpenter-y kind of blue, that kind of blue. I'm not sure of the name of the shade, but it's that kind of blue that they were bringing forth. So they really were stressing honesty. That was the biggest thing, like heart-centered honesty. Be honest about what happened. Be honest about how it went down, how it made you feel, etc., etc. And you don't have to say this to the people if that's not something that's safe for you. Say it to the energies and just let it out, right? It's a really good time to go bring some things to a river and just release them, right? It's not meant to be an aggressive release. It's a self-forgiving kind of release, whatever it is that, and it's really releasing the outcome, not necessarily what happened, but your fixation on the outcome or how things needed to be, because that's just not how they are. So it's really like a place of acceptance that is coming through here. But yeah, sudden path changes are likely. So just be aware of that. Crystals that they brought through for the activators are just light blue crystals. Any light blue crystal is fine, but they specified like blue calcite, angelite, celestite, that kind of stuff. For scents, they were a little bit stumped on that question, honestly. So I always try to bring through a scent because I find it's a really easy way to put an activator into your daily routine. But they said the scents need to be one-note scents because they're clear and honest. They don't want complexity this week. Straightforward, honest, pure. That was really something they were looking for. They did say that something soft and delicate with like a floral note would also be helpful this week because what they want is blooming. You're going to come into some understandings this week about the things that have happened, and they're not going to make sense to you yet. They're multi-layered. I'm hearing you're only going to get it when it fully blooms. So things like flowers that bloom in your perfume would be absolutely excellent, like a rose perfume or anything that has like a floral note that blooms, or even something like blue lotus, something that, you know, like maybe continually blooms, something like that, like Rose of Jericho has a really cool bloom. I don't know if there's any perfumes with Rose of Jericho, but you could wear Rose of Jericho oil, for example, right? They want the bloom. They want the bloom action. The reason why is because, and this came through in something I was channeling yesterday, which is linked on this channel if you want to see it, through Mary Magdalene. But it's something about there being like a returning to the soul's essence was that message through that bloom. This is kind of like every single time something blooms, there's more information that's expressed. So it's like a seed gets planted. You don't fully get it yet. The seed starts to open. You're like, oh, I'm getting it. And then the next day you're like, oh shit, I'm getting it. Then on day 5, you're like, oh God, I really get it. It's going to be like that. Doesn't mean it's going to be bad, but it's going to be like that. So allow it to come through and don't jump on it, because when you think you get it, you don't have all the information. Allow it to kind of come out. It's going to. And don't control that process and don't rush that process. It has to go through the time it has to go through. Leave it alone. Let it be. A lot of us are going to want to jump on resolving things and fixing things and talking about things before we understand them. No, you don't understand them. Back off, right? It's just one of those things where you don't have all the info. By the end of the week, you should let it bloom. And that blooming, especially if you have resistance to what's coming through, like let's say if you're like someone who holds a lot of grudges or frustration, or you ruminate a lot, you're gonna want to do this and you're not gonna want to open up about it until Friday, because that's when that energy is really going to start to be visible to you. And if you're feeling stressed on Friday about sharing that, come to the Stress Melt. It's on YouTube right here. It's free. It can just help you with whatever you're dealing with. Okay, so other things that they brought through. Food, they mentioned hibiscus tea. They mentioned any flower tea, but particularly hibiscus tea. Something about flow, activation, movement, something like that. They also mentioned like magic potion from David's tea. I think that's butterfly pea flower. It's magic. I don't know. Anyway, but I think that's what it is. So any tea that contains that could be really good right now too. And I think that's transmutation. Don't quote me on that, but I think it's transmutation. Okay, so now some of the other messages that they brought through, because they were like giving activators and the messages at the same time. And I was like, yo. Okay, so they brought through really needing to let the heart offload, like really. Epsom salt baths are a great way to do that. You know, swimming is a great way to do that if you live somewhere where you can do that. And if you do, God loves you extra. I hope you know that. It's still frozen where I am. Very. So you'll want some way to offload your heart, whether that's like releasing magic, whether that's, you know, like something like Reiki. If you need help with that, I have tons of help with that in Energy Mastery. I have a Reiki experience that allows you to pull the energy of others out of your field and separate it. It's not harsh. It's actually quite gentle, which makes it kind of a nicer option than something like a cord cutting, because it does bring reflection. I also have an experience called Sacred Unity. I think it's got Sacred Unity in the name somewhere. Yeah. Anyway, it's that. You'll find it. But it's about balancing the give and take in relationships and seeing what happened. So the sacred unity experience, like the reason why I like it for something like this is because it allows you to see the other person's higher perspective. It allows you to see what they got from the situation, what they learned, and the two souls meet at a higher level and they work things out outside of the humans. So it's really good at balancing out the energies and healing a relationship from the inside out. And when you look at something like that too, if you're needing to release, it's really good because you might not have closure. And in a situation, you might not get it, right? We've all been through that where somebody didn't say exactly what went down or whatever, and you don't get that closure. But this experience is really good for soothing the heart and help you have a deeper understanding of what actually happened and what's needed and the lessons that are needed. So if you need to release, that's a great way too. There's also one that's like release worry and call in divine intervention. Now, if you're working with a situation where you need something resolved, that's what I would do. So all of these are in energy mastery, and energy mastery is just a healing container that can help you move through difficult challenges in life. It's very easy to use. It's just you kind of listen to it and allow it to do its work, and then your life changes and you're like, oh wow. But it's not an intense thing by any means. It's just you listen to it, and it doesn't even require meditation. You can listen to it while you do the dishes. So it is really unique in how it's structured, but I built it for things like this, where it's just like you need some help with something, but you don't know what you need. It's got a lot. I think there's like 76 sessions and counting in there right now. So that's all in the link below that you can find, and with a free trial if you need it. The other things that were coming through, they really mentioned soft nighttime routines. Is anybody else's sleep haywire? Anyone else? Sleep is not... I guess the nervous systems maybe are amped up. I noticed that the energy's kind of loud at night lately. Soft nighttime routines, like just really allowing yourself to slow down before you go to sleep. Like maybe like, changing your sheets if that's something you need to do, like washing your bedding, you're setting up your room the way that you like. Nervous system teas, like sleepy time tea, things like that. That can be really good. Like Tulsi would probably be a good example. I think Tulsi's a flower, a good example of a flower tea. That might be an activator too, right? And very soothing, really good at helping you sleep. So things like that, just like really slowing down before bed. The body is pouring out right now. The body is processing things. Like if you look at what's going on in the astrology this week, it's really heavy. Like a lot of Pluto aspects, things like that. It's heavy. And so I think that's why they were bringing up so much about like what's coming out to be released and to release it gently and to have forgiveness with that process. So having a slow nighttime routine can really help with just allowing your body to melt into the sleep it really needs because it needs it to process. Let's see. They said that it's time to let things be the way they are. You can't control how things went down in whatever situation this is, or, whatever you're dealing with. You can't control what happened. You can't control what's going on, and you can't control what happens with it either. And so that's why they were like, it's time to let things be as they are. Stop fighting them. A lot of us are fighting things where we're like, no, I have to fix this. I have to say this. I have to mend this. Yes, but not from that energy, not from that place. You want to come at things grounded, which means release the energy first. One of my favorite things to do, again, this is an energy mastery. It's called the transmutation chamber. Some of us, hi, how are you? Feel things really, really deeply. I'm a water sun and a water moon and a Pisces moon to boot with a grand water trine. I feel things like nobody's business. It's how I do what I do. It's a blessing and a little bit of a curse. So if you use something like the transmutation chamber, you can literally harness all that energy and turn it into something else. So say you got a conflict. Take all the nervousness, the anxiety, the frustration, turn it into resolution. It'll work. You can take that energy, tie it up, get it, and in the transmutation chamber, we compound it, we change it into something. And again, all you have to do is listen. There's a little bit of visualization in this, but honestly, me and my guides do it for you. So you just have to listen and like hit a button with your hand and your mind. It's no big deal. Anyway, you could do that, let's say for like 7 days. If it was like really sticky, you would get resolution in that situation. The energies would start to reroute to something different. I do this all the time with like scarcity into coherence, like what I don't get into what I do. I do like evil eye into money is one that I use that experience for all the time. It's about 15 minutes, but it's listed below and it's a lifesaver when it comes to things like this, because what I want you to understand more than anything is you can't understand what's happening if you're all up in that energy. It is clouding your circuits. You are not going to understand what's going on or what you need to do. So to do something like that, it takes out the emotional charge charge. And when the emotional charge is gone, the body's intuitive faculties come back and they start working again. But if the emotional charge is there and you're going, I don't get it, I don't get it, I don't get it, it's just like this vicious cycle. And then it's like, one, really hard to deal with as a person. And two, it's not helping you. It's not helping you. It's not solving. It's compounding. It's making your life actively worse. Take that energy and throw it at something. Throw it at something useful. You're generating it anyways. You might as well use it, right? Like, you could turn it into money, for goodness sakes. You could turn it into anything. I turn stuff into money all the time. It's very easy with something like this that's outlined for you. So if you want that, it's going to be in the link below. And again, that's Energy Mastery. So really letting things be as they are and just unburdening yourself. Let go. Make peace. Another shameless plug. I have the River of Peace in Energy Mastery. If you don't know what you're doing and you don't know how to solve something and your little heart is just broken, go in there. Thank me later. It is literally laying in peace. It's literally allowing all the ick to come off your body and just moving you into peace. Same thing with like the Calm Waters experience, which is also in there. It really just, they both really allow you to just take that weight off and put it somewhere, because you can't solve it, but you need your heart and your nervous system to rest. And so that's what those are for. A lot of the things in Energy Mastery about regulating your nervous system and soothing it, because that's something I deal with, and I was dealing with grief when I built it. So that's like very prevalent in there if you struggle with your nervous system. Okay, so one thing that they did want to like convey too, if it's meant to stay, it will. There's nothing you need to do. If it's meant to stay in your life, it's going to find a way, no matter what happens. So release control, release the emotions, pour them out and let them go. And if it comes back, then it's going to stay. If it doesn't come back, then at least you're free. You know what I mean? Like, there's just all this density in the heart. And again, these new pathways are coming in. They're not waiting for you. So you have to clear. And you don't deserve to be carrying all of that, right? It's unsolved stuff. It's not going anywhere. It's heavy, it's dense, sticky, right? And to help your body process through the emotions and get the lessons underneath, you want to move the energy. So let's see. They did say if these things come back, they have to be on the right terms. So it might be a good time to think of like boundaries in the situation, or terms, or what you might need going forward. They said letting go of the outcomes and releasing things with love. So any type of like clearing, releasing, emotional offloading, all that kind of stuff would be really supported. They said that they would like us to move out of intensity as much as possible. So again, with that, transmutation chamber is going to be a good friend to y'all that are dealing with this. Okay, they said let this week be all about releases of any kind, no matter what that release might be, whether that's emotional, whether that's physical, whether that's like getting rid of items, like all of that is fine. This is a week for clearing energy and moving things. Okay, let's see what the tarot messages have to say. I have this deck sitting around and I was like, this is perfect. It's got like it's got giant spiders in it too. So sorry, not sorry. It is what it is. Okay. Spirit, what are you wanting to share with the collective? Tulip Spirit, do you have any other messages you want to share for the collective on what's coming up this week? You're in your ego. The Queen of Wands reversed. Anger. Some of y'all are like enraged, and I don't blame you. I don't blame you. Let's just start there. You have a right to feel however you feel. But anger is like drinking poison and expecting it to hit someone else. So that's what they're trying to say. That's another reason why they want you to release, because these new beginnings are new. They're fresh. They're unpolluted. A lot of people are getting back what they lost, but in a different form. So this might be like new friendships. This might be new relationships to come to replace the things that hurt that you lost. You want to pour out the old energy. You want to have the right space. Okay, what else might we be looking at, Spirit? Oh, this deck is large. My hands are not large. Okay. Tiny. Okay. You need to understand that you do have growing potential. Like, you do have something to offer. In whatever situation this is, I feel like you're like, but I keep getting burned in the same area of life. I keep getting burned in my friendships. I keep getting burned in my relationships. I keep getting burned in my money, in my workplace. It's the same story over and over, and that's okay. No shade. But it's a looping pattern and you have to see it. Because, you know, if you break the loop, shameless energy mastery plug. I'm so sorry. There's a lot of good things in here this week. I have an experience that I built for that. There were a lot of things that were looping in my life last year. This is one of the newer ones that I've built. And it's called breaking the loop because sometimes you don't know what you don't know. And if you need help figuring it out, that experience will figure it out. It won't do it in the moment. It's not, well, for some of you it might, but it doesn't typically involve you to think. You just want to listen to the experience and just like do whatever you're doing, like whether it's the dishes, clean the house, whatever. I like to just listen to them while I'm like doing tarot or whatever I'm doing, and they will show you in life. One, they're going to move the energy. They're going to break the loop actively in your energy. That's not something you have to do. They do it. And then the knowledge comes through, usually a couple days later, where you're like, oh my God, that's what I was doing. And then when you know, you can start to change it. You can start to move that energy, alchemize that energy. So for a lot of you, it's in self-worth. It's in self-worth that problem is coming up. Like, I don't have anything to offer. I don't have anything to give. I'm not abundant. Like, yes, you are. You have every resource that you need within you, and you are every resource. You are a very virtuous person. So don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. What you think you don't have to give, you're actually rich in. You might have just been giving it to the wrong people or the wrong situation. So let's see what else is here. There's a big fear about like losing things, like losing, like, I don't want to, I've invested so much into this, I don't want to let it go. Or this person meant so much to me that how could I let them go? You're not losing. You have to understand whatever it is just changing form. If it's like a relationship, then you're going to find a healthier version. Or it might just be that through that knowledge of breaking the loop, you find out something you can do to set the energy straight. What you wouldn't understand probably about energy, I mean, it depends on how well versed you are, but I didn't understand it for a long time, is that energy, like, there's often just these tiny tweaks. It's often a tiny solution where it's like, oh, I keep fighting with my partner about the same thing, so go at it a different way. What you don't see is what you don't see. You believe there isn't a solution, so you haven't seen one. But there usually is. So ask the universe about it through something like breaking the loop, again, in the link below. And you'll be able to see what that is. Whatever the repeating pattern is, there's energy and information available within that, and they'll show you. Don't abandon things just yet. You're actually not losing. It's just maybe changing form a little bit. Maybe it has to be a little different. Okay. You need to change your perspective on something too. There might be a lot of bitterness, might be a lot of frustration, might be a lot of anger. It's okay. Again, there's probably some stuff that went down that you didn't like in whatever the situation is. And maybe you're trying to protect yourself, and maybe you're protecting yourself too much. There's something you don't see, right? There's something you're not seeing here, and you need some space to figure it out. You believe with the devil here that things can't work out. Like there's like this limitation, like, oh no, I can't do this. I can't have it work this way. You're wrong. I'm so sorry, but there's something you're not seeing here this week, collective. Like with the Hanged Man and the devil, it's like there's a perspective change that's needed. There's limitations, there's trauma, running loops all in your head, right? There's things you're not seeing, right? And that can make it really difficult. But what you need to know is that everything is going to balance out in the end, whether that's financial, friendships, like relationship, whatever it is, all the effort, all the money, it's going to balance out in the end. You have to let this kind of collapse happen to be able to get to the leveled state you need to be. And that's why they wanted you to pour out through your heart, because right now you're giving so much energy away to the situation that you might actually be losing life force to it, losing sleep to it, so much stress about it. It's not equal right now. But it does have the capacity to. So this situation in your life, it can be reciprocal in the way that you need it. Let's see what else, Spirit. And again, as always, guys, take what resonates, leave what doesn't. This is a collective message, so there might be messages for a few of you here. Might be the energies as a whole. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't. Okay. God, this deck is big. Okay. The thing, you already know. You already know what happened. You already know what went wrong. You already know where you stand. You know where they stand. You know where you effed up. You know where they did. You know what happened. Let it go. You're already aware. You might not be wanting to admit it to yourself, but you're already aware of where you stand in this situation. And you have to just allow that to be what it is. Your intuition is going to be like on literal fire this week, and you're going to be probably getting a lot of downloads about what you need to do and how you need to release. But if you release the energy, If you take time to just pour that out, release that energy, anything like, like clearing, cleansing, like that kind of deep stuff, right? We've talked about the patterns and stuff like that too. And yes, that's important. And that is a cleansing form in and of itself. But we really want emotional release. Things like the river of peace, the calm waters experience as well. Those are essential because you want to lift that emotion out and give it a place to go. Right? All of these are different ways of dealing with emotions and like energetically, because emotions are just a signal fire, and you can have a lot of signal fires and it doesn't mean that they're doing anything for you. They're just firing. You want to find out what they're firing about. And to do that, sometimes you have to let them out. And you can always do the regular ways, like art, like music, like however it is you release emotions, a rage room. I don't care. You do you, right? But something. It's not landing right yet. You know it. You might be like, no. Like there's ego involvement here. So you might really want to just release. Don't even worry about it. Don't try to solve it. Let it go. Let it out. Circle around back to it. And then ask yourself, what do I want to do here? Because you do already know. You might think you don't know. You might be trying to lie to yourself and think that you didn't do something wrong in this situation when you might have. Or you might be on the other side lying to yourself, being like, oh, they weren't that bad. They were. But just, you have to make room for the clarity you already know about. Okay. Anything out? Oh my goodness. Okay. They did have something else to say. Imagine that. Okay. So what I would say is you really want to get clear on what you want with the King of Wands here. You really watch your ego with this situation. Like, you might be really mad at it. Oh, here's the big horrible spiders. I don't want to look at them. They're scary. Anyway, I'm not going to sleep now. Anyway, you really need to get behind your, understanding your truth, but you need to not let the fire overtake you. There might be a tendency to go all guns ahead, like it is Aries season, you might be ready for war. This situation doesn't need war. It doesn't need war. I don't want to look at it. Sorry, it's a spider warning. Anyway, don't need to look at that. It's the Eight of Swords. Okay, so there's a lot of anxiety. There's a lot of anxiety about getting it wrong. There's a lot of anxiety about not understanding it, about misstepping in this situation. It's okay. Clear it first, then address it. Clear it first, then address it. Are we going to say it again? Clear it first. And then deal with it. Because that's how you're going to get to the answer. And then you're not going to have to worry about, did I say the right thing? Did I do the right thing? I just acted on impulse and then I effed everything up. Don't do that. Just don't do that. There's a choice that you can make, and it's don't do that. So don't do that. We'll remember this next week. I'll find out if you done did that. Okay. You have so much power within you to get the answers that you need. You might have been relying on the intuition of other people to get your answers. Stop. This is only for you if you're reader hopping or really in your psychic dependency. Then yeah, you might need to take a minute and sit down and get other people's energy out of your field. And again, energy mastery can help you with that. If you need to find clarity and you need to connect with your spirit guides, that's my whole shtick. So there's lots in there. There's one game in there that's a spirit guide game. I love spirit guides, and it's called Show Me the Truth. And that's what it does. It shows you the truth on something. It'll bring the messages through, and it'll also show you in your real life what the actual truth of it is that you need to know. So if you're confused and you're I can't get the answers, yes, you can. You might just need to try a different way. So again, that's linked below. Very useful this week. Oh god, I picked up the spider card. I don't want to do that. Go away. Okay. It does feel like things are confusing. Bonus points for the Show Me the Truth game. There are a lot of options. I cannot stress getting clear enough this week. If you need your friendly neighborhood Reiki master to do some clearing for you, hi, how are you? And if you need to just get a bunch of energy tied up and you're worried that things are influencing you, or you need a highest timeline alignment, I've got another program called the Soft Life Activation that can really help tie up that energy and get you clear. So that's going to be linked below too. But the thing is, there's a lot of love in this situation between you and whoever you're dealing with here. This is not simple to just cut off. And I want to be straight with you. If this connection matters to you, take your time with it. Don't go rushing into it. Don't give an answer right away. Take the time that you need to think and be honest with whoever else is involved that you need that, right? Because this isn't, if it matters to you, then it's okay that you take that time. It's okay that you aren't impulsive. It's okay that you don't rush things around, you know? Like, tread carefully because you're at risk of blowing the lid off something if you get into your ego with it, is basically what they're saying. There is a new start available within whatever it is that you're looking at closing out. There is a new start available. There's even an apology available to you. There's even like actual fairness, actual balance available to you. And that's really what your spirit team is trying to tell you. Like, don't rush through. Pour out the emotion so you can have clarity. Let go of the outcome so you're in a grounded place no matter what happens with this connection or whatever it is. Allow it to be as it is. Make a practice to find that peace. Do some energy work. When it comes around, be willing to just hear everyone out and just allow it to move through. And that's really what's going to allow you to see, because there is a new pathway possible with this situation and there's other pathways available to you, but they weren't meant to run the way that they are right now. It was not good. Whatever this was, it was not right for you. It just need to be tweaked a little bit so that it is, though. And now that's available to you. So just take the time, do the releasing, move slow and steady, get grounded, pour out what you need to. And all of those new timelines and choices are going to open up to you. And you might even get a deeper rebirth of whatever this situation is in a much better, healthier way for you. But you have to let go of the old way to make way for the new way. And whether or not it's a new situation or the same situation, it's going to be healthier for you because you did that inner work. So again, if you want to work with me deeper, I've got everything linked underneath, whether you want a reading or whatever it is that you need, energy work, etc. And I will say, if you guys are feeling really stressed out this week, come visit me over here for the stress melt on Friday. It comes with a little weekend message and also just really slows off some heavy stuff so you can like let go of the week. And I feel Friday, Saturday are going to be pretty heavy this week with the astrology and just what was coming through here. So if you need some space, if you need a place to just offload things, you can find me here. And I will see you hopefully next Monday.